somebody time this?
Yeah. Alright, let's just do stopwatch.
Well, Danae and Chris, thanks for coming in today. I really appreciate it. It's very brave of you to come in today and be vulnerable. So I appreciate it very much. So tell me what brings you in today? Either one of you.
I'm just tired. I am extremely frustrated with talking about the same things over and over again for years now. And just feeling like I'm being told one thing with, okay, the best intention, but no execution. And then we keep coming back. So it's almost like you could graph it. I'll say something, things are good for a minute, then the next thing you know, come down. Level out, say something, come down, level out. And it's just like, do you not? So I ultimately feel as though he doesn't, somewhere, because when I met him, it was one thing, meaning that he was, you know, going to school full-time, working full-time, very ambitious, natural go-getter, made things happen. I didn't have to follow up, didn't have to ask, like, oh, okay, cool. If anything inspired me, I was like, well, all right, let me pick up the pace a little bit more over here. And now it is totally opposite. Like, okay, so you just want to stay at this job that you hate, or you say you hate, which I don't understand that, because for me, if you don't like something, you change it. And yeah, so I feel like no true vision for his future. Or he says he wants to become a general contractor, you know, have his business grow, to be able to leave his employer and run his own business.
So you feel like he's a different person today than what you first met, and that's very frustrating to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you want him to set some goals.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, I saw you make a face. What did you hear Danae say, and then what was that face about too?
I mean, I heard her say it a million times already. I know she wants me to be a little bit more concise and actually make a plan. We've been talking about this business, and I know I've been talking about how I've been struggling in my job, but I don't think she understands that sometimes you just get stuck. Of course, I'm not going to be the same person I was when we first met. She's not the same person. But I don't think she's being very, very understanding of my situation. I love her, she knows that, you know that. But I don't know, I just don't think we're maybe not communicating well. And I know she tries, like she gave me SMART goals to work on, but you know, that's her thing. She likes SMART goals. I don't do SMART goals.
What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do?
So right about now, basically, I'm trying. Like, I started, I just couldn't actually finish it. I couldn't follow through with it.
How do you make a business plan and set goals and all that? What does that look like for you?
So right now, I mean, I'm struggling. I haven't really, I don't know. I need help. But I need help that's going to be beneficial to me, not in the way that she sees fit.
What does that look like?
Yeah, well, tell me, what do you think about what Chris just said? And I'm sorry about my voice.
No apologies needed. We will try to help you rest your voice as fast as possible. So what I think about what Chris just said was, I understand he's not me. I completely get that, 100%. I don't expect him to be me. Hell, I don't want him to be me. I'm me. Be you. Be who I met. Be the ambitious go-getter. Have a plan. Follow through. Execute without me having to follow up on, hey, did you sign back up for your general contractor license because you failed the first test? Okay, that's fine. You failed the first test. I failed tests. So I'm not blaming him for that. It's just like, okay, but if you say you want something, then there has to be an action to make it happen. You can't just keep telling me, I want this or I'm gonna do this, and nothing comes about it. What am I supposed to do with that?
Well, Chris, what do you think about what Danae has said? She says that you used to be a person that had goals and set goals and was a go-getter. What happened there?
Well, I mean, the relationship changed. I changed. We started out fine. You know, I did have goals. I was a go-getter. I made sure things happened, but you know, throughout, certain things happened to me. I just don't have what I used to have, and honestly, it's easy to say make a plan, and you know, I have to do this, but I'm just kind of stuck in it. I'm in a rut, and as much as I want to change, as much as I want to make her happy, I don't know. I think I need a bit more motivation, but I need to find it from within.
Tell me what it means to you to be stuck. What does that kind of look like? Talk about that a little bit.
So to me, being stuck is just kind of in a mode of I want to do something, but I can't seem to find that motivation to get out and do it. I can't. I don't know. I guess it's just motivation.
What motivates you?
Well, honestly, she motivated me, but we've been going through so many trials recently that I don't know. It's kind of like I already know we're gonna be in an argument, so I don't even want to talk to her about it. So I've been kind of talking to other people.
So you've been kind of avoiding it.
I guess so.
Is that a good plan for you?
No.
Do you think it's better to talk to Danae rather than avoid it?
I mean, yeah. It's just every time we talk, there's always an argument.
And you don't want to argue?
No. I'm trying to avoid it.
Well, it's not every time. We don't argue every time. We argue when you make a commitment and don't honor it. That is when arguments come about. Because see, the flip side of that is when you make a commitment, you honor it, guess what? No arguments. Life is good. Life is good for you. Life is good for me. But you want to make commitments and not follow through. And expect me to be okay with that, I guess, because, you know, I don't understand, so.
Is that true, Chris? Do you make commitments and then not follow through?
It's true. I mean, I know what she's saying. It's just, I know she's trying to help me. She's trying to do the best she can. But at this point, it's not necessarily that I need help from her. It's something that has to be done literally from myself, from within. And, I mean, as much as she tries and as much as she, you know, says you have to do this, you have to create this, you have to do this, it's not going to work because it's not coming from me.
I agree with that, because if it doesn't come from him, it won't be sustainable. I told him that, and I finally feel like I had that aha moment recently. It was like, okay, I can ask this of you all day long, but is this what you really want? Because that's the only way it's going to be sustainable. But still, it's like crickets. No action, no plan. So I don't know where to go and what to do.
She has expectations, and I'm not meeting those expectations because it's taking me much longer. So at this point, I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know when and where I don't know how it's going to happen yet. All I know is that I need time, and I can't give you a specific number. I mean, number of time, duration, when it's going to happen.
And Danae, would you be open to it taking a little bit longer?
I have been. You know how many years this been? This ain't been weeks. This ain't been months. This been years. We've been here in Charlotte for 6 years. This was conversation before leaving Chicago, coming here. So it's been over 6 years, but I'm being nice and not talking about pre-Charlotte. I'm just talking about the last 6 years that we've been here. So I'm sorry. Is 6 years not enough time?
Well, let me ask you this. Would you be open to, if Chris found a different way to honor his commitments, instead of writing a business plan, maybe honoring his commitments and not writing a business plan?
I'm open to whatever is going to save our marriage and work. Whatever is going to be consistent and
She always throwing that in there. What's going to save our marriage? Like, if I don't do this, then our marriage is just completely over.
Well, let me ask you, yeah, that's my question. Is this a deal breaker?
Yes, it is a deal breaker for him not to have a plan for his life, because my life is attached to his life. So do I want my life to ultimately fail because he don't have a plan? No, I've worked too hard to get to where I'm at, and I have visions and goals that I have to be able to focus on, and this is a distraction, okay? Because if he was doing what he needed to do, I'd be happy and I'd be focused on everything I need to do, and life would be good. But instead, I'm mentally preoccupied, stressed the fuck out, and feeling sad and miserable, and having to force myself to focus on school and things, which shouldn't be the case because he said he was going to do this, and he didn't. Now, the business plan, I get that. Okay, maybe that's a bit overwhelming. But you come up with your own methodology and execute it. So yeah, I'm open.
Would you be open to doing something other than a
You
business
see why I don't
plan?
want to talk to her? Just stress.
Y'all are making this hard on me.
You're welcome to therapy.
Yeah.
That's what you gonna get.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make it hard. I'm just expressing myself.
Yeah, and I get it, that you don't want to write a business plan. Would you be open to finding another way to honor your commitments?
Yes, I'm open. I think before I even start creating those, maybe I just need to find something that just makes me happy again.
So this business that you started is not something that makes you happy?
Well, it's not motivating me enough to get started, so maybe it's something else that I need to do for myself. And what? I don't know. But maybe if I search long enough, I'll find it.
Yeah, so your plan then is to stay in your current job and figure out what you want to do and make sure that what you've started doing, the business that you started, is what you actually want to do. I know that probably Danae's going to ask you for a time commitment on that. So
I don't have one. And I mean, I guess I'm just asking of my wife here to stand. I'm sorry.
That's like me and Steve.
I was fine with it because for a minute I actually was gonna reciprocate and be like, but I was like, this ain't the moment for that.
To stand
pissed.
by my side.
Sick of your shit.
To stand by my side and support me.
So I was going to offer, maybe the first step is to study for the general contractor's exam and get that, and sign up for another test and get that passed. Does general contracting excite you?
I mean, I could look into it. I'm open. I can look into it.
Okay, and Danae, I see you making gestures. What are those gestures about?
The gesture is, what is there to look into if you've already said that you're going to take the test, you're going to get your license so that you can hire other people to get these larger, like, what do they call, like kind of commercial contracts where there's more money to be made instead of the onesie twosies, you know, and that's fine too. But why are we pedaling backwards, feel like? But I feel like something that was just said, that you said, and I believe when you're self-motivated, that motivation comes from within, it drives you. And what you just said is, maybe I'm not motivated. And that right there, I feel like is drop the mic, a mouthful, pretty much there. So, but at this point, it's just like, okay, the other part is if this doesn't motivate you and we go backwards to all the other things that you have started to pursue but didn't finish, this feels like just another one. So,
But if he says that he's willing to study, do you feel like you need to study some more for the exam? And he says he's willing to study and sign up for the exam. Is that acceptable to you?
I know what he said, but I also know that when I'm studying, he's not studying. So it's like if you don't allocate the time, first of all, if you don't make time for what you're saying you're gonna make time for, it's not gonna happen. So in other words, how you just gonna say you're gonna study, but you don't allocate several hours to that study. So in other words, what I'm saying is historically, there has been times where he said, oh, I'm gonna study, and it's like, okay, I'm sitting here studying, why Chris not studying? Or I'm sorry, maybe you study when I'm at school.
At a different time, yeah.
But we haven't registered to take the test, and now we attempt to register to take the test, and there's like some red tape or some other stuff going on. But okay, yeah, I'm fine with whatever as long as he's gonna do it and be consistent. Keyword consistent in executing what his commitments are. And then when things change, you can't just drop the ball and not say anything to me. Like, actually communicate to me, because I'm part of this plan and things change. And if you don't communicate or update me, then I'm thinking we still on the old plan and you want something new. I don't know.
Well, would you be open to homework? If I gave you some homework to do before our next session?
I don't know.
It's, all it is.
How do you not? I'm sorry. How do you not know? How do you not know if you open to homework or not?
Well, I have to hear what she's gonna say first.
She's the
What-
expert.
What I'm gonna say is, excuse me, I'm so sorry about my voice. What I'm gonna say is, register for the test. Just register for it. By next week, by the time that we meet, would you be open to registering for the test?
I don't know if I'll actually do it, but I will consider it. I just need time.
You need time.
How much? 6 years, not enough time. 6 years. Boo.
See?
What do you have to say about that? What does?
It's legit. It's
No,
6
wait,
years.
let Chris answer.
She had like for 6 years, I just been a horrible husband out here in Charlotte. Like I haven't done anything for her.
Now, she did not say that.
That's what
She
I
said
hear.
that-
That's what I'm hearing.
That's what you're hearing.
Mhm.
What do you think about that? What Chris is hearing?
I
You haven't
think
heard her say
that-
anything positive this whole time.
I think
Just
that he needs to
negative.
unclog his ears over the last 6 years, because there's been positive, but we're not here today to talk about the positive. We're here to talk about the area of opportunity that lies before you, that lies before us, if our marriage is going to proceed.
How important is it to you that your marriage stays together?
It's very important. You have a family together.
Yeah. And how important is it to you to take the time to think through what you want to do?
It's important. I definitely do need to sit down and think through. I mean, I know I've made promises and commitments that I haven't kept. I know that, this is putting a huge strain on our relationship, our marriage. I know that I have to take the steps to make it better. It's just, I don't know.
What would it look like if you took the test and then decided, it's not something I want to do? It's just not something I want to do. What would that look like?
If I took the test and then I decided that's just not what I want to do. I don't know. I think she'd be disappointed again, though. Like, you took the test and now you don't want to do it.
Well, she wants you to take the test. She wants you to honor that commitment. So that's a positive thing. So if you took the test and then decided, well, no, I want to be a ballerina, I mean, that's different. So if you decided you wanted to do something different, then you could pursue that, and that motivates you.
But why can't I do that before I take the test?
You can, but it doesn't sound like that's okay with your wife.
But that's what I'm saying. This is my journey. I understand we're in a marriage, but in order
Do
for
you?
me to do this,
Do you really?
it's something I have to do as an individual.
All I hear is my, I. What's our? What's your compromise?
And I've only heard her say for a compromise that I should actually, I guess, do what I say I'm going to do. Which is fine.
Well, what's a commitment you could make that you could do what you say you're gonna do? What's a commitment you could make that you would follow through?
That I will consider, and that I will take time to think about everything that we've talked about.
You've been doing that for months now, and that's why we're here.
But I need more time.
How much more time do you need?
I don't know.
Okay, we can go round and round with this. And I don't know what to say anymore. How much time do we have?
You're at 19 minutes.
Oh, God.
Try.
Oh,
Keep going.
excuse me.
Keep going.
Um.
We'll settle down. Chris.
Um,
He said compromise.
yeah, he said compromise.
I'm I'm willing to compromise, but if you don't articulate and verbalize what a compromise looks like for you, for us, I have nothing to work with. So, what's this compromise?
Well, let me ask you this. In Danae's business, she's a life coach. Would you be willing to, as you're thinking through this process, to engage her as your life coach and think through with her, here's what I'm thinking, here's what I'm not thinking, and kind of walk through it with her to process what you want to do?
Nah.
I just said we gonna make this easier.
Only because Danae as a life coach should stay as a life coach.
Well, it would be a life coach if she was working with you as her client,
I just want her to be my wife.
and that's understandable.
But your wife got mad skills.
Which is great, honey. That's why you're supposed to use it on your clients, not your husband.
But if my
But it can
husband is
benefit.
exhibiting characteristics of my clients that I have successfully helped them navigate and get to their other side,
You see the problem?
successfully,
I'm not a client.
you know, Leah, the therapist, she see the problem, all right.
Well, we're talking about compromise. So would you be
Okay.
willing to take advantage of her skills to help you walk through this as your wife?
If she does it as my wife and not as the life coach.
Okay, would you be willing to do it as his wife?
What does
and
that
talk-
look like?
Talk through with him, yeah, that's,
Mhm.
would you be willing
Not
to
treating
do
me
that?
less than, not talking to me as if I know nothing.
Ooh, that's how you feel.
Well,
Can you do that?
I can. I can do what's needed for the marriage, but I can't do it alone. It takes two.
Chris says that he's willing to talk to you and talk through it and process with you. So you're both willing to do that.
I also don't need her throwing it in my face every time, this is the end, this is our marriage is over, Can we have a conversation without us mentioning that?
Can you give me things to not have to be in that space occupying to be reminded of that? Because I'm not doing it.
And it
It's you.
sounds like that's what he's doing. He's willing to make a compromise. And he's willing to talk and process through it.
Susan needs to stop talking. Yes, I can do that.
Okay? And you can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me give you this homework then. Sit down and talk for an hour, for however long it takes, and process through what it is that you want to do. And come up with, I want to do this or I don't want to do this, and just talk through it.
Okay, I can do that.
You can do that?
I can commit to that.
I'm glad that you can commit to that. And we're clear on that.
And so you're both willing.
Yes.
We've got buy-in from both of you to do that before the next time we meet next week.
Yes, Dr. Hawkins.
Yes.
I even have my coffee cup that says doctor on it.
And it's sitting right behind you that you're going to take a sip of so that you soothe your throat. And we're not going to make you talk anymore because we have homework. We have clarity what we need to do that we will be ready for our next session next week. Same time, same bat channel. We're going to be
Yep.
here with our homework done and progressing.
Yeah, and we'll talk about how it went, what it looked like, and from both of you. I want to hear from both of you next week.
Okay, sound like a plan. I'm sorry.
Have we hit 35 minutes yet?
You were 23, almost 24.
So we got about 10 minutes left. What else can I help you guys with today?
Well, let me ask her. She has all the complaints.
Wow, Chris. Wow, you too.
You know, I think this is good. I think that we should stop here and let Dr. Cully know your throat is irritated and he'll be understanding to this.
Yeah, I don't know that he'll be
I
understanding.
don't think you will.
I don't think you will either.
Okay, fine.
I think
All
we
right,
need
how
10
can
more
we
minutes.
help? Okay, fine. So yeah, wow, Chris. I have all the complaints. Do you ever think about what you've given me to complain about? I don't just nobody, or I'm not gonna say nobody, because this is about us. I don't just pull this out my ass, you know. I'm gonna complain. I'm gonna pick this item to complain about today. That complain. I want to complain in this marriage. I want this marriage to be horrible and just suck major ass. That's what I want.
Well, tell me something good Chris has done lately.
Okay. So the other thing that we had to share is October 3rd, we sat down and said, okay, Operation Save Our Marriage. Excuse me. Operation Save Our Marriage came up with a plan, and then from there he has been working on good things. So recently, the good thing that happened was he cleaned up the garage a bit and organized it in such a way that it wasn't as cluttered in the pathway. So when I came home and opened the garage and saw that, I was like, oh wow. So I was like,
That's a big one.
and I was like, yeah, I can't believe I probably shouldn't say this, but it is such thing. And you might hear it in therapy. Like, wives be like, he gonna get a coochie coupon.
I'm glad you noticed.
So I was like, oh, see, that's the other thing for him to realize. Like, these things turn me on. These are like, when you do these things, I get excited. It's like, oh, okay. So went in and we had a wonderful night. I'll leave it there. And I was appreciative. So that's one thing that he's done that's been good.
Okay, so I have to do that more often.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
That's a learning moment there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that garage clean.
And uncluttered.
Tell me something good that Danae has done lately.
Oh, well, she takes on a lot of responsibility, but she does that all the time, and I don't think I give her enough credit for that. With our daughter, school, work, just life in general, I see that she really tries and she does it. Even when I'm a little bit more stuck in my own ways, she still has to push through. So, I admire that.
Wow, you too. I've seen a lot of love here today. I've seen there's the complaining, but I've just saw a lot of love here today. What do you guys think about that?
Well, yeah, I never said I didn't love her. I love you.
I love you too.
Need more of that. More garage cleaning and more responsibility.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. No, that's the thing that keeps me, I think us, ultimately holding on, because there's no doubt that the love is there, 100%. It's just like Tina Turner said, what's love got to do with it? At the end of the day, marriage is a business. Marriage is very much love and good stuff and all that mushy gushy Hallmark romantic and get your freak on and all those fun things. But the flip side of that is that marriage is a business, and it requires logistics and moving parts and responsibilities. And no, those things aren't fun. I don't like doing them. But in life, the way I see it, it's not a choice. You want certain things in life, you got to do them. That's it. That's all.
What do you think about that? Marriage is a business. Do you think marriage is a business?
I get what she's saying. I wouldn't put it like that. She's very business minded, so that's that's some things. But I do think it takes more than love.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like. Have you guys ever heard of love languages?
Yeah, we know each other. We did our quizzes and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Sounds like her love language is acts of service. What is your love language? Just make something up.
Physical touch.
Touch.
Oh, touch. Okay.
Yep.
So we actually did a quiz, and my love language is affirmations, and his is physical touch. And so that's been the problem. It's a blessing and a curse that my love language is affirmations, because he's been able to give me so much, for lack of a better phrase, lip service, affirmations, and I get high off of that in terms of, oh yeah, sounds good, ha, I'm great. Then it's like, okay, just like anything, actions speak louder than words. And I finally gotten to a place now where it's not enough words in the world anymore. It's all about action. It's all about results because I can't live off of affirmations. Affirmations are not gonna save our marriage. So yeah, so my love language affirmation is physical touch.
Do you speak his love language?
I try my best. Normally I do. Let me just say this. Actually, his first love language is quality time. The second one is physical touch. So quality time, yeah. When everything is going good, we're always like daily carving out some type of quality time. And then of course, whenever we spend quality time together, we're, pretty much cuddled up or touching one another in one way or the other. So yeah, I do. Nope, not yet. You at 30. You got 5 more to
No, I
go.
think we only gotta show 10 minutes to, Dr. Cole.
I thought it was.
For the final exam.
Yes, we're not
Oh.
checking this, right?
Yeah, he is.
The whole 30 minutes?
I'm thinking so.
Oh, that's gonna be
Aren't
on
you,
it.
Dr. Coley?
Oh, no, the whole way, yeah.
Sorry, Dr. Coley.
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, it has to be 35 minutes, and then you pull out 10 minutes to show the
Right.
final.
Right.
So that means you got 5 more.
But you
4 more minutes.
submit it as an assignment, the whole 35
Yeah,
minutes.
so you got 4
Okay.
more minutes to go. So in that 4 more minutes that you have to go, we love each other. He's my love bug. And I want to see our marriage prosper and grow, and most of all, I want to see him happy. Because how unfair is it me to be happy on my journey and he's not? And then he's going to work, which I know going to work to keep the benefits for Michaela and us ultimately, which is very selfless. And I get that. At the end of the day, though, I'm not expecting him to continue to do that. I don't believe in anybody self-sacrificing themselves for anyone because there's always a solution. Might not be overnight, but it's a solution. But he should be able to go to a career and get development in terms of his professional development and growth, year after year, month after month, whatever that looks like. But it should be some type of progression, but that brings him joy, brings him happiness. Sure. Are you always gonna have perfect days in whatever work environment? No, you're gonna have shitty days, but the majority of good should outweigh the minority, and in his case, the majority of shitty days are outweighing, and that's not good for his health.
Yeah.
Mental health, physical health, all of that is taking tolls that I don't even think he realizes, and so that's why I'm so stressed out, because ultimately it's not about me, it's about us, but it's about him. I want him to be happy.
So you want him to be happy. Excuse me. I'm sorry. So you want him to be happy, and this job is not making him happy whatsoever. And the homework, though, is going to help you with that, so that maybe you can figure something out and get out of this job that makes you unhappy. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I'm glad she recognizes that I'm, still in a job that I don't want to be in for the greater good of the family. But I think the homework is gonna help. Definitely just to sit down and process, knowing that we're both gonna be level-headed and be able to communicate clearly. We should be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Are we at the?
I'll let you know you're at 33.2, unless you wanna stop at
Yeah, let's
33.24.
stop at 33.2. Thanks for coming in today. Pay $300 at the door.
$300? Wow.
Yeah, I gave you homework that's gonna fix your problem.
We don't have $300.
Get that homework
Okay.
back.
We weren't here. Pew! Thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming in today. I'll see you guys next week.
Okay. 33.46.
Bye, Dr. Coley.